There are 3 rules to surviving in the house of a killer. Rule 1, you do not ask questions. Rule 2, you do not fall in love. Rule 3, you absolutely never carry his child when your skin is the wrong color, and your bloodline means nothing to the men who decide who lives and who dies in Seoul's criminal underworld. Amara broke all 3 rules on a rainy Tuesday in November of 2023, and now, 6 months later in May of 2024, she is standing in the penthouse bathroom of South Korea's most feared mafia boss, staring at 2 pink lines that will either get her killed or start a war that will burn the entire Korean Syndicate to the ground. But before we dive into how a Nigerian maid and a Korean crime lord created the most dangerous secret in Seoul, I need you to do something for me. If you have ever loved someone you were not supposed to love, if you have ever carried a secret so heavy it felt like it would crush your chest, hit that subscribe button right now, because this story is about to take you into the darkest corners of forbidden love, family betrayal, and the kind of choice that no one should ever have to make. Now, let us go back to where it all started to fall apart. The blood on the marble floor is still warm when Amara walks into the penthouse on the morning of May 14th, 2024. She has been working for Kenji Han for 2 years, 3 months, and 16 days. She knows the exact count because every single morning, she has woken up in the small room on the 3rd floor of his 17-story tower in Gangnam. She has marked another day survived in the small leather journal she keeps under her mattress. 2 years, 3 months, and 16 days of scrubbing crime scenes, washing designer suits stained with evidence, and pretending she does not notice the men in black who come and go at odd hours carrying duffel bags that clink with the sound of metal and money. But today is different. Today, there is more blood than usual. Today, the trail leads from the elevator all the way to the master bedroom. Today, Kenji did not bother to call her in advance to warn her that she would need the industrial bleach and the specific enzyme cleaner that breaks down human tissue. Today, Amara stands in the doorway of the bathroom and sees him sitting on the edge of the porcelain tub, his white dress shirt soaked through with red, his hands shaking as he tries to light a cigarette that keeps slipping between his blood-slicked fingers. He does not look up when she enters. He never does. In the 2 years, 3 months, and 16 days she has worked for him, Kenji Han has looked directly at her face maybe 7 times. She is staff, she is invisible, she is the woman who makes the evidence disappear and asks no questions and collects her cash payment every Friday in a plain envelope that she wires back to her mother and 3 younger sisters in Lagos. Except Amara is not just staff anymore. Amara is 6 months pregnant with his child, and under the loose black uniform dress she wears, her belly has started to curve in a way that no amount of oversized fabric can hide much longer. "Clean it up," Kenji says. His voice is flat, empty. It is the same voice he uses whether he is ordering coffee or ordering an execution. "Start with the elevator. Work your way in. I need it done in 2 hours." Amara should say yes. Amara should nod and back out of the room and get to work like she always does. But instead, Amara stands frozen in the doorway, her hand instinctively moving to her stomach. And she makes the mistake that will change everything. She hesitates. Kenji's eyes flick up. For the 8th time in 2 years, 3 months, and 16 days, he looks directly at her face. And then his gaze drops lower, to her hand, to the curve beneath it. To understand why this single moment of eye contact feels like a death sentence, you need to understand who Kenji Han actually is beneath the expensive suits and the cold-blooded reputation. Kenji was born on a winter night in 1989 in a private hospital in Seoul that does not officially exist on any map. His birth was not celebrated with balloons or stuffed animals. It was documented in a leather-bound ledger that records the bloodline of the Han family dating back 7 generations. A lineage of men who have controlled the drug trade, human trafficking networks, and political corruption in South Korea since the end of the Korean War. His father, Jin-soo Han, runs the organization with an iron fist and an obsession with purity that borders on fanaticism. To Jin-soo, the Han blood is sacred. Marriage outside of approved Korean families is forbidden. Relationships with foreigners are considered contamination, and children born from unapproved unions are erased from existence before they take their first breath. Kenji learned this lesson when he was 9 years old. He had an older half-brother named Min-jun. The boy was 12. Born to a Japanese woman his father had a brief affair with in Tokyo. Min-jun was smart, funny, and the only person in the cold fortress of the Han estate who ever played soccer with young Kenji in the courtyard. One morning in July of 1998, Kenji woke up and Min-jun's room was empty. The photographs were gone from the walls. The soccer ball was missing from the garden. At breakfast, when Kenji asked where his brother went, his father backhanded him so hard across the face that he lost a tooth. "You never had a brother," Jinsu said, "and if you ever speak of contaminated blood under this roof again, you will join him." Kenji never found out if Min-jun was killed or simply paid off and deported. He never asked. He learned to swallow his questions, bury his emotions, and become exactly what his father demanded. A ghost who moves through the underworld without attachment, without weakness, and without mercy. By the age of 25, Kenji had personally executed 11 men who betrayed the Zayn organization. By 30, he was running the entire Seoul operation. By 34, he was the heir apparent, the crown prince of blood money and violence, the man who would inherit an empire built on bones. And then he made the mistake of being human for one single night. It was November 17th, 2023. Kenji came home after watching his father torture a man for 3 hours in a warehouse in Incheon. The man had stolen from the organization. The punishment was slow and methodical. Kenji was required to watch as a test of his loyalty, his strength, his worthiness to lead. When he walked into his penthouse at 4 in the morning, he was shaking. Not from fear. Kenji had stopped feeling fear when he was 9 years old, but from something deeper, something he did not have a name for. A sense that he was hollowing out from the inside, becoming a shell, losing whatever tiny piece of his humanity still remained. Amara was in the kitchen. She often worked late, preparing his meals for the week, organizing his schedule. She looked up when he entered, and for reasons he still cannot fully explain, Kenji did not walk past her like he usually did. He stopped. He looked at her. And he asked a question he had never asked any member of his staff in his entire life. "Do you ever feel like you are disappearing?" Amara stared at him for a long moment. Then she poured 2 glasses of whiskey, slid one across the marble counter, and said, "Every single day since I left my country to come here, they talked until sunrise. They shared stories about loneliness and sacrifice and the weight of survival. And when the conversation finally ran out of words, they made a different kind of mistake. The kind that creates a heartbeat where there should only be emptiness. The kind that creates a child." The silence in the bathroom stretches for exactly 7 seconds. Kenji's eyes are locked on Amara's hand resting on the curve of her stomach. His face shows nothing. No shock, no anger, no recognition. But Amara has cleaned up enough crime scenes to recognize the moment before violence erupts. It starts with stillness. A predator going quiet before the attack. She drops her hand to her side. Too late. He saw it. He knows. "How far along?" Kenji asks. His voice is still flat, but there is something new underneath it now. Something sharp. Amara's throat closes up. She has rehearsed this conversation in her head 300 times since she took the pregnancy test in January of 2024. She has planned exactly what she would say, how she would say it, what escape routes she would take depending on his reaction. But now that the moment is actually here, all of those carefully constructed speeches evaporate like steam. 6 months, she whispers. Kenji stands up slowly. The cigarette falls from his hand into the bloody bathwater. He is a tall man, 6'2", and when he moves toward her, Amara's survival instincts scream at her to run. But her legs will not cooperate. She is frozen in the doorway, watching him approach, wondering if this is how her story ends. A body that disappears into the Han estuary, where dozens of other problems have been dissolved in acid and dumped into the bay. But Kenji does not reach for the gun holstered at his back. Instead, he reaches for her. His hand moves to her face, fingers trembling as they trace the line of her jaw. It is the first time he has touched her since that night in November. The first time he has acknowledged that anything happened between them at all. "Why didn't you tell me?" he asks. The question catches Amara off guard. She expected threats. She expected cold calculation. She did not expect the raw edge of pain in his voice. Because I know what happens to contaminated blood in your family, Amara says. The words come out harder than she intended, sharpened by 6 months of fear. I know what happened to Minjun. I know the rules. Kenji flinches. It is barely visible, a microscopic crack in his armor. But Amara sees it. She has studied this man for 2 years, 3 months, and 16 days. She knows how to read the tiny tells that everyone else misses. My father cannot know, Kenji says. If he finds out, he will kill you. He will kill the baby. And he will probably kill me for the disrespect of creating this situation in the first place. I know, Amara says. That's why I was going to leave. I have money saved. I was going to disappear before it became obvious. Go to Japan maybe, or back to Nigeria, somewhere he couldn't find me. When? Kenji asks. Next week, Friday. Kenji's jaw tightens. He steps back, running his blood-stained hands through his dark hair. And for the first time since Amara has known him, he looks lost. The ghost of Seoul, the crown prince of the underworld, the man who has never hesitated in his entire adult life, is standing in a bathroom full of evidence from his latest kill, staring at the pregnant maid like she is a puzzle he cannot solve. We have a situation, Kenji finally says. The organization is planning a succession ceremony. My father is sick. Lung cancer, stage 4. He has maybe 6 months left, and he wants to officially pass leadership to me before he dies. The ceremony is in 3 weeks on June 4th. Every major family in the Korean Syndicate will be there. Every alliance we have built over decades will be watching to make sure the transition is clean. He looks at Amara directly, and the weight of what he is about to say hangs in the air like smoke. If anyone finds out about you, about this baby, before that ceremony happens, the entire organization will fracture. There will be a civil war. Hundreds of people will die. And my father will make sure you and our child are the first casualties. Amara's hand moves back to her stomach instinctively. So what do we do? She asks. Kenji's eyes harden in tow, the cold calculation she knows so well. We lie, he says, and then we run. For the next 17 days, Amara and Kenji live in a nightmare disguised as routine. During the day, they maintain their roles perfectly. Kenji is the cold heir who barely acknowledges her existence. Amara is the invisible maid who scrubs floors and prepares meals and keeps her uniform as loose as possible. But at night, after the guards change shifts and the security cameras loop their footage on the schedule Kenji has carefully manipulated, he comes to her small room on the 3rd floor. They do not have sex. They do not even touch most nights. Instead, they plan. Kenji spreads maps across her narrow bed, maps of smuggling routes through Busan, ferry schedules to Osaka, safe houses in the Philippines that owe the Han family favors but operate independently enough that his father's people would not think to look there. He has opened a bank account in the Cayman Islands under a false identity. He has been skimming money from his own operations for years, a personal insurance policy he never thought he would actually use, $3.7 million. Enough to disappear and never surface again. After the ceremony, we have a 12-hour window, Kenji explains on the night of May 23rd. His finger traces a route on the map from Seoul to a private airstrip outside the city. My father will be weak from the ceremony. It takes a lot out of him these days. He will sleep for at least 10 hours. By the time anyone realizes we are gone, we will be landing in Manila. Amara studies the map, but her mind is elsewhere. She is thinking about her mother in Lagos, her 3 younger sisters, who depend on the money she sends home every month, the life she built from nothing after she left Nigeria at 22 with nothing but a work visa and a dream of something better than the poverty that swallowed her father and left her family starving. I need to send money to my family before we leave, Amara says, enough to last them at least 2 years. If I just disappear, they will starve. Kenji nods without hesitation. I will wire $200,000 to your mother's account. Make it look like an inheritance from a distant relative. It will not raise flags. The casual way he says $200,000, like it is pocket change, reminds Amara of the vast distance between their worlds. Kenji was born into wealth built on blood. Amara was born into nothing and has spent her entire life clawing for scraps. And yet somehow, impossibly, they created something together that belongs to neither world and both at the same time. What if the baby looks like me? Amara asks suddenly. It is the question that has been eating at her since January. What if our child has my skin, My features. You will be walking through Asia with a mixed-race baby. People will notice. They will ask questions. Kenji is quiet for a long moment. Then he reaches across the map and takes her hand. It is only the third time he has touched her since that morning in the bathroom. Then let them ask, he says. I have spent my entire life being what my father wanted me to be. A ghost, a killer, a man without a soul. But when I think about this child, I feel something I have not felt since I was 9 years old. What? Amara asks. Hope, Kenji says simply. The word hangs between them like a fragile thing made of glass. But hope is a dangerous drug in the underworld, and neither of them sees the betrayal coming until it is too late. On May 28th, 1 week before the succession ceremony, Amara is cleaning the third-floor hallway when she hears voices rising from Kenji's office below. One voice belongs to Kenji. The other belongs to his father's right-hand man, a vicious enforcer named Dae-jung, who has been with the Han family since before Kenji was born. Amara should keep walking. She should mind her business like she has for 2 years, 3 months, and 16 days. But instead, she moves closer to the ventilation grate in the floor that carries sound up from the office below. And what she hears makes her blood turn to ice. Your father knows about the girl, Dae-jung says. He knows everything, and he has ordered me to handle it before the ceremony. She dies tonight. Amara's first instinct is to run. She could grab the emergency bag she has kept packed under her bed since January. She could walk out the service entrance, catch a taxi to the airport, and be on a plane to anywhere before sunset. But her legs will not move. Her body has locked up with a terror so complete that she cannot even breathe properly, because running means leaving Kenji behind to face his father's wrath alone. And despite everything, despite the violence, despite the impossible situation, despite the fact that their relationship was supposed to be a one-time mistake, Amara has fallen in love with the ghost of Seoul. She hears Kenji's voice rise from the office below. You will not touch her. It is not a request, Kenji. It is an order from your father. Dae-jung's voice is calm, matter-of-fact, like he is discussing a grocery list instead of murder. The girl has contaminated the bloodline. The situation must be corrected before the ceremony. Your father was willing to overlook your moment of weakness, but he will not allow the evidence of it to continue breathing. I said no. Kenji's tone has shifted into something Amara has only heard him use once before. The night he came home shaking after watching his father's torture session. It is not anger. It is something colder, something final. Then you are choosing to betray your family, Dae-jung says. You are choosing a foreign whore and her bastard child over your birthright, over your father's legacy, over everything 7 generations of Han men have built. Is that really the choice you want to make? There is a long silence. Amara presses her ear closer to the grate, her heart hammering so hard she can feel it in her throat. Yes, Kenji finally says. That is exactly the choice I am making. The sound of a gun cocking echoes through the ventilation shaft. I was afraid you would say that, Dae-jung says. Your father predicted this outcome. He said you were too weak, too emotional, too much like your mother. He said that if you chose the girl over the family, I was authorized to correct both problems permanently. Amara does not think. She moves. She runs down the hallway, down the spiral staircase, toward Kenji's office. She does not have a plan. She does not have a weapon. She only has the desperate, illogical need to reach him before the gunshot she knows is coming. But when she bursts through the office door, the scene in front of her is not what she expected. Kenji is standing behind his desk, his own gun pointed directly at Dae-jung's head. Dae-jung's weapon is aimed at Kenji's chest. They are locked in a standoff, neither man moving, both waiting for the other to flinch first. And then Dae-jung sees Amara in the doorway. His eyes flick toward her for just a fraction of a second, barely long enough to register her presence. But it is enough. Kenji fires. The gunshot is deafening in the enclosed space. Dae-jung drops to the floor, a red bloom spreading across his chest. He is not dead yet. His breath comes in wet, rattling gasps. His hand still grips his gun, trying to raise it one more time. Kenji fires again. Silence. Amara stands frozen in the doorway, staring at the body of the man who was supposed to kill her tonight. Her ears are ringing. The smell of gunpowder burns her nostrils. She watches Kenji lower his weapon slowly, his hand shaking worse than she has ever seen it shake before. "I just killed my father's oldest friend," Kenji says quietly. He is not looking at Amara. He is staring at Daejung's corpse, like he is trying to understand what he has just done. "I just declared war on my own family." Amara finally finds her voice. "What do we do now?" Kenji sets the gun down on his desk. When he looks up at her, his eyes have changed. The cold calculation is gone. The ghost has been burned away. What remains is something raw and dangerously human. "Now we stop running," Kenji says. "My father wants a war. I will give him a war. But first, I need you to understand something." He crosses the office in 3 long strides and takes Amara's face in both hands. "I am not my father," he says. "I will not erase our child. I will not sacrifice you to maintain power. I would rather burn the entire Han Empire to the ground than lose the only real thing I have ever had in my life." "Kenji, they will kill us both," Amara whispers. "Then we make sure we kill them first," Kenji says. And with those words, the genre of this story shifts completely. This is no longer a tale of forbidden love and desperate escape. This is a declaration of war. But before we get into the bloodbath that is about to unfold, if you were in Kenji's position, if you had to choose between the empire you were born to inherit and the family you chose to create, what would you do? Drop your answer in the comments, because the next 48 hours of this story will test that question in ways that no one could have predicted. The first bullet comes through the bedroom window at 3 in the morning on May 29th, 2024. Amara is awake when it happens. She has not slept properly in weeks, and the sound of shattering glass sends her rolling off the bed onto the floor on pure instinct. Kenji is on top of her half a second later, his body covering hers, as 3 more bullets punch through the walls, embedding themselves in the plaster where her head was resting just moments before. "Stay down," Kenji hisses. He has a gun in his hand. Amara does not know where it came from. She does not remember him reaching for it. But then again, Kenji is never unarmed anymore. Not since he dragged Daejung's body out of his office and realized that every enforcer in his father's organization would be coming for them next. The shooting stops as suddenly as it started. In the silence that follows, Amara can hear her own heartbeat thundering in her ears, feel the pressure of Kenji's weight pressing her into the carpet, smell the fierce sweat that has broken out across her skin. "They found us," Amara whispers. "How did they find us?" Kenji has moved them 4 times in the past 2 days. First to a safe house in Itaewon, then to a love hotel in Hongdae, where no one asks questions, then to an apartment owned by one of Kenji's few remaining loyal associates, and now here, a high-rise in Mappo that was supposed to be clean, untraceable, safe. But nowhere is safe when your father controls half the criminal underworld in Seoul and has put a $5 million bounty on your head. "Someone is feeding him information," Kenji says. His voice is tight with fury and exhaustion. "Someone close to us, someone who knows our movements." He pulls Amara to her feet, and they move quickly through the apartment, grabbing the emergency bags they keep packed by the door at all times now: passports, cash, burner phones, a change of clothes, the essentials of a life lived on the run. They make it to the stairwell before the second attack comes. This time, it is not bullets. It is men, 3 of them, climbing up from the floors below, cutting off their escape route. Amara recognizes one of them. His name is Min-ho. He used to work directly under Kenji, running protection rackets in Gangnam. She served him tea once in the penthouse. He smiled at her and said, "Thank you." Now Min-ho is pointing a gun at Kenji's chest. "I am sorry," Min-ho says, and he sounds like he actually means it. "Your father is offering 10 million to whoever brings you both in alive. That is generational wealth. That is my family set for life. You understand, right?" "I understand that you are a coward," Kenji says flatly. The standoff lasts exactly 4 seconds. Then Kenji does something Amara has never seen him do before. He lowers his gun. He lets it clatter to the concrete floor of the stairwell. He raises his hands in surrender. "Take me," Kenji says. "Let the girl go. She is not important. She was just a mistake, a momentary lapse. My father does not need her. He needs me." Amara's chest constricts. She knows what Kenji is doing. He is trying to save her. He is trying to trade his life for hers, and the baby's. But Minho shakes his head. Your father was very specific. Both of you. Alive, no exceptions. That is when Amara makes a decision that will haunt her for the rest of her life. She steps forward, placing herself between Kenji and the guns, and she lies with a conviction that surprises even herself. I am not carrying his child, Amara says. Her voice does not shake. Her hand does not move to her stomach. She looks Minho directly in the eye and sells the deception with everything she has. I lied about being pregnant to manipulate him. I thought I could get money, security, a visa, but there is no baby. There never was. You can verify it right now if you want. Minho hesitates. His gun wavers slightly. She is lying, Kenji says immediately. She is trying to protect. I am not lying. Amara cuts him off. She turns to face Kenji, and the look she gives him is pure desperation. Trust me, her eyes say. Please, just this once. Trust me. Kenji's jaw clenches, but he goes silent. Minho looks between them, uncertainty flickering across his face. And in that moment of hesitation, Amara sees their only chance at survival. But what she does next will make her question everything she thought she knew about right and wrong. Amara takes a slow, deliberate step toward Minho, keeping her movements non-threatening, her voice steady. Take me to a hospital right now, she says. Do an ultrasound, run a pregnancy test. When it comes back negative, you will see that I have been playing Kenji this entire time. His father does not need to waste resources hunting down a fantasy. Minho's eyes narrow. He is calculating, weighing the odds, trying to decide if this is a trick or the truth. Behind him, his two associates exchange uncertain glances. Nobody wants to bring false information back to Jinsu Han. The old man has executed people for smaller mistakes than wasting his time on a phantom pregnancy. Why would Kenji kill Daijung over a lie? Minho asks. Because I convinced him it was real, Amara says. She forces tears into her eyes. It is not difficult, given the terror coursing through her veins. I showed him a fake test. I told him stories about morning sickness and baby names. I made him believe he was going to be a father because I knew it was the only way to make him feel something human again. And it worked. He fell for it completely. She sees the doubt creeping into Minho's expression. The story is just plausible enough. Everyone in the organization knows that Kenji is cold, detached, unreachable. The idea that a woman could manipulate him through his hidden desire for connection, it makes a twisted kind of sense. The hospital, Amara repeats. 30 minutes. You can confirm everything yourself. And when you realize there is no baby, you can take Kenji back to his father and collect your blood money with a clear conscience. Minho lowers his gun slightly. Fine, we go to the hospital. But if you are lying, if there is even a chance you are pregnant, I put a bullet in your head before we get back in the car. Understood? Amara nods. Kenji makes a sound like he is about to protest, but Amara shoots him a look so sharp it could cut glass. He closes his mouth, understanding flooding his features. She has bought them time, maybe only an hour, maybe less. But time is all they need. Because what Minho does not know, what none of Jinsu's men know, is that Kenji has one remaining ally in this city who owes him a debt that can never be repaid. Her name is Dr. Yuna Park, and 6 years ago, Kenji helped her disappear after she witnessed something in a Han family operation that would have gotten her killed. He gave her a new identity, a new life, and a standing offer that if she ever needed anything, he would move heaven and earth to provide it. She now works at a private medical clinic in Gangnam under her assumed name, and Amara has her number memorized. They are loaded into a black SUV, Amara in the back seat wedged between two enforcers, Kenji up front with Minho's gun pressed against his ribs. The drive to the clinic takes 23 minutes through the late-night Seoul traffic. Amara counts every second, her mind racing through the plan that is forming in real time. When they pull up to the clinic, she makes her move. I need to use the bathroom before the exam, Amara says. The fake baby symptoms I have been faking. They include constant urination. It is very convincing. Minho considers this, then nods to one of his men. Go with her. Do not let her out of your sight. Amara is escorted into the clinic bathroom with an armed guard standing directly outside the stall door. She has maybe 90 seconds. She pulls out the burner phone Kenji gave her, the one Minho's people did not find because she has been keeping it tucked inside her underwear since they started running, and sends a text message to the number Kenji gave her 2 days ago. Code red, clinic, now, pregnant, need proof I'm not. She flushes the toilet, washes her hands, and walks back out to find Dr. Yuna Park waiting in the examination room with an ultrasound machine and a smile that does not quite reach her eyes. Let us take a look, shall we? Dr. Yuna says pleasantly, snapping on latex gloves. Minho and his men crowd into the room, guns visible beneath their jackets, watching every movement. Dr. Yuna applies cold gel to Amara's stomach and moves the ultrasound wand across her skin. The monitor flickers to life, showing grainy black and white images that mean nothing to Amara, but everything to the men watching. Well, Dr. Yuna says after a long moment, her face carefully neutral. There is definitely something we need to discuss. And Amara's heart stops, because she cannot tell if Dr. Yuna is about to save them or condemn them both to execution. Dr. Yuna turns the ultrasound monitor toward Minho and his men, her expression professionally detached. What you are seeing here is a fairly advanced fibroid, Dr. Yuna says, pointing to a shadow on the screen that could be anything to the untrained eye. It is a benign tumor in the uterus, very common in women of African descent actually. It can cause abdominal swelling, hormonal fluctuations, and even false positive pregnancy tests if it is pressing on certain organs. But there is no fetus, no heartbeat, no pregnancy. Amara watches Minho's face carefully. He is studying the screen with intense concentration, looking for any sign of deception. Next to him, one of the other enforcers leans in closer, squinting at the grainy images. How do we know you are not lying? Minho asks. How do we know you have not been paid off? Dr. Yuna raises an eyebrow, her voice turning cold. I am a licensed medical professional with 15 years of experience. You are welcome to take her to any other hospital in Seoul for a second opinion. The results will be identical. This woman is not pregnant. She has a medical condition that mimics pregnancy symptoms. That is all. She hands Minho a printed ultrasound image, the kind that expectant parents usually treasure, except this one shows nothing but shadows and medical terminology that confirms her diagnosis. Minho studies the printout for a long, agonizing moment. Then he turns to Amara, and the look on his face is pure disgust. You manipulated him with a medical condition, Minho says. You made him betray his family over a tumor? Amara says nothing. She just stares at the floor, playing the role of the ashamed con artist caught in her own web of lies. Minho holsters his weapon and pulls out his phone. He makes a call, and Amara can hear Jinsu's raspy voice on the other end, demanding answers. Minho explains the situation: the fake pregnancy, the fibroid, the manipulation. There is a long pause. Then Jinsu's voice cuts through the speaker, sharp and final. Bring my son home. Kill the girl. She has caused enough damage. Amara's blood turns to ice. But before Minho can draw his weapon again, Kenji moves. He is fast. Faster than Amara has ever seen him move. His elbow slamming into the throat of the guard standing next to him. His hand grabbing the man's gun in one fluid motion. 2 shots ring out in rapid succession. The first guard drops. The second guard reaches for his weapon, but Kenji is already firing again. The bullet catching him in the shoulder, spinning him into the wall. Minho has his gun up now, aimed at Kenji's head. But Dr. Yuna does something completely unexpected. She jabs a syringe filled with sedative into Minho's neck. He stumbles, his shot going wild, punching a hole in the ceiling tiles. His legs buckle. Within seconds, he is on the floor, unconscious, his weapon clattering across the linoleum. The clinic falls silent except for the sound of ragged breathing. We have maybe 10 minutes before more of them show up, Dr. Yuna says, already moving toward a supply closet. She pulls out 2 white medical coats and tosses them to Kenji and Amara. Put these on. There is a service exit through the basement that leads to the parking garage. I have a car waiting with clean plates and a full tank of gas. Keys are in the visor. Kenji stares at her. Why are you doing this? Because 6 years ago, you gave me a life when I should have been dead, Dr. Yuna says simply. Now we are even. But Kenji, listen to me very carefully. Your father will never stop hunting you. He will burn through every resource, every contact, every favor he has accumulated over 40 years until he finds you both. You cannot stay in Korea. You cannot stay in Asia. You need to disappear so completely that you become ghosts. Where do we go? Amara asks, her hand instinctively moving to her stomach, to the very real baby growing inside her that the fake ultrasound just protected. Dr. Yuna reaches into her pocket and pulls out 2 passports, Canadian passports. The photos show Kenji and Amara, but the names are different. David and Grace Chen, a married couple. New identities built on documents solid enough to pass international scrutiny. Vancouver has a large Korean community and an even larger Nigerian diaspora, Dr. Yuna says. You will blend in, you will be invisible, and your child will be born somewhere your father's reach cannot extend. She hands Kenji a slip of paper with an address written on it. This is a contact in Vancouver, a man who specializes in helping people start over. He is expensive, but you have the money. Use it wisely. Kenji takes the passports, the address, and for the first time since Amara has known him, she sees genuine gratitude break through his carefully constructed armor. Thank you, Kenji says. Thank me by surviving, Dr. Yuna replies. Now go, before your father sends an army. They run. 10 months later, on a cold morning in March 2025, Amara stands in the kitchen of a small house in the suburbs of Vancouver, watching snow fall through the window while she prepares breakfast. The house is nothing like the penthouse in Gangnam. There is no marble, no floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city, no staff to clean up after them. Instead, there are scuffed hardwood floors, mismatched furniture from thrift stores, and a refrigerator covered in alphabet magnets and crayon drawings. It is small and imperfect, and absolutely beautiful. Behind her, she hears the sound of footsteps on the stairs, followed by a tiny voice saying, "Daddy, I am hungry." Amara turns to see Kenji walking into the kitchen with their son balanced on his hip. The boy is 7 months old now, with Amara's dark skin and Kenji's sharp eyes, and a smile that could melt even the coldest heart. His name is James, a safe, unremarkable name that will not draw attention or questions. But at home, in the privacy of their small sanctuary, they call him by his Korean name, Min-jun, named after the brother Kenji lost, the boy who was erased for being born to the wrong woman. This Min-jun will not be erased. This Min-jun will grow up knowing he is loved, chosen, and protected. "Good morning," Kenji says, leaning down to kiss Amara's cheek before settling their son into the high chair. He is wearing jeans and a sweater, clothes he never would have been caught dead in during his Seoul days, and his hair has grown longer, softer around the edges. He looks younger somehow, less like a ghost and more like a man. "Did you sleep?" Amara asks, pouring coffee into 2 mugs. "A few hours," Kenji admits. He has nightmares sometimes, dreams where his father finds them, where armed men kick down their door, where he wakes up too late to protect his family. But the nightmares are becoming less frequent as the months pass, and the distance between their old life and their new one continues to grow. They have been careful. They do not use social media. They pay for everything in cash when possible. Kenji works as an accountant for a small firm downtown. His mathematics skills translate well to legitimate business, and nobody asks too many questions about David Chen's past. Amara works part-time at a community center, teaching English to new immigrants, helping people like herself find their footing in a country that feels both foreign and safe at the same time. They are not rich anymore. They are not powerful, but they are free. Amara's phone buzzes on the counter. She picks it up and sees a news alert from a Korean publication she still monitors out of habit and caution. Her heart skips a beat when she reads the headline. "Kenji," she says quietly, "your father." Kenji looks up from feeding Min-jun applesauce. What about him? He died, last night, heart failure. Kenji sets down the spoon slowly. His face shows no emotion, but Amara knows him well enough now to see the complicated storm of feelings playing out behind his eyes. Relief, grief, guilt, liberation. "It is over," Amara says, softly. "The war is over." Kenji is silent for a long moment. Then he reaches across the table and takes her hand. "It was over the moment I chose you," Kenji says. "Everything that came after was just noise. Minjun makes a happy gurgling sound and reaches for his father's face with chubby applesauce-covered fingers. Kenji laughs, a real, genuine laugh that Amara did not hear once during their entire time in Seoul, and lets his son grab his nose. Later that afternoon, they bundle Minjun into a winter coat and take him to the park. They push him on the swings. They build a snowman together. They sit on a bench and watch him explore the world with the fearless curiosity of a child who has never known violence, never known fear, never known what it means to be unwanted. And as the sun sets over Vancouver, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink, Amara leans her head against Kenji's shoulder and allows herself to believe something she never thought possible. They are safe, they are together, they are home. Sometimes the greatest act of rebellion is not fighting back. It is choosing love over legacy, freedom over power, and building something new from the ashes of everything you were supposed to be. Kenji gave up an empire. Amara gave up everything familiar, but what they gained: a tiny hand wrapped around their fingers, a future that belongs to them and no one else, is worth more than any throne built on bones. Think about the person you love most in the world, or the person you would love if you allowed yourself to be vulnerable enough to try. Would you walk away from everything you have ever known for the chance to build something real? Drop your answer in the comments below. And if this story made you feel something, hope, fear, anger, relief, hit that like and share button and subscribe. Because stories like this, stories about people choosing love over power, are exactly what we need more of in this world. Thank you for watching. Thank you for feeling. And remember, sometimes the bravest thing you can do is not to fight, but to walk away and start over. Has there ever been a moment in your life where you had to choose between what was expected of you and what your heart knew was right? What did you choose, and do you have any regrets? Share your story below. I read every single comment.